This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 11. Coverage you can count on.
Crews have spent almost 5 full days searching through the rubble of the collapsed condo tower. And tonight, some local crews are helping with the massive effort to find any signs of life and survivors.
They're working around the clock. They're working 12 hours at a time, midnight to noon, noon to midnight.
Those first responders from Central Florida are used to dealing with fires, of course, and rescues and hurricanes, but nothing quite like this. Good evening, I'm Greg Warmouth.
And I'm Martha Sagowski. First, let's get you caught up on the latest on this tragedy happening now in South Florida. At least 11 people are now confirmed dead, and more than 150 people are still unaccounted for tonight. Families and emergency crews are hopeful that because of the way the tower fell, there could be pockets of air for residents to survive until they're found. Federal authorities are on the scene. Many were part of that 9/11 investigation.
They're a fact-finding, not a fault-finding agency, and a long-term investigation of theirs would give us a chance, for me, as a member of Congress, to be able to to adopt changes in federal law that will help them make sure that when structures are built, that something like this could never happen again.
President Biden will not be visiting the site of the condo collapse. His press secretary said a presidential visit would take first responders and emergency crews away from the critical work of searching for survivors.
And as we mentioned, this is a rescue mission like no other. Crews in Florida are usually deployed to assist in the aftermath of hurricanes, but a building collapse is a daunting and much different task. Channel 9's Alexa Lorenzo joins us live in studio. Alexa, there are first responders from all across Central Florida who train constantly to be ready when called for anything, including this.
And this call was no different when it comes to that, right, Greg? Every urban search and rescue task force in the state is now at the scene in Surfside. For us, that's crews from Marion County all the way down to Lake. And while this mission isn't as familiar to them as hurricane aftermath, they're ready for it because of the hours of training they put in.
Many people want to help those impacted by this collapse, but the Better Business Bureau says you need to be careful where you send your money. They say you should look for established charities that meet the agency's accountability standards. If you use a crowdfunding campaign, the BBB says to make sure the funds will be used for specific purposes or will go to an organization, not an individual. Of course, we'll stay on top of the search for survivors and the investigation into this deadly condo collapse. For the very latest updates around the clock, download the free Channel 9 News app today.
We have our eye on the tropics tonight, watching a system that moved from the Atlantic into the Carolinas, already the 4th named storm this season. Let's get on over to Channel 9 certified meteorologist George Waldenberger with the latest track on Danny. And George, just moments ago, it was downgraded, right?
Yeah, weakening. It's been a fast 12 hours for Danny because it just formed 12 hours ago. It became a tropical storm at 3 o'clock, made landfall around 8 o'clock, and now it's weakened back to a depression. Now, it will continue raining over Georgia and South Carolina while it continues to weaken between now and morning. But here's kind of a look using our 3D cloud product, kind of a cool look at just how high the clouds can get. 5 inches of rain in parts of South Carolina, tropical storm force winds, numerous structures struck by lightning. Thankfully, this is going to stay to our north, so no impacts for us. But there's a second disturbance farther to the southeast. We'll talk about that and a change to our rain pattern coming up soon in the forecast just ahead. Martha?
The man accused of shooting a Daytona Beach police officer in the head will be coming back to Volusia County. Officials are working on a plan to extradite Othel Wallace from Georgia to the Volusia County Jail. Wallace was found hiding in a treehouse early Saturday morning alongside a stash of guns, ammo, and body armor. The officer he allegedly shot, Jason Rayner, is still at Halifax Hospital.
Right now, his outlook is it is improving. It's a positive one, but we're just going to continue to pray that he continues to heal.
Officer Rayner is still in critical condition after last Wednesday's shooting.
While Officer Jason Rayner recovers, his Thin Blue Line family is working on a way to show their support. Channel 9's Lauren Seabrook was in Volusia County today to find out more about a Challenge Coin Challenge. It's underway in his honor. Now, we just checked. People have already donated well over $290,000 for Officer Rayner. The vast majority of that has come from a GoFundMe page. More than 4,000 people have chipped in so far. We have a link to the GoFundMe on our website, WFTV.com. People also collected money during a fundraising event in Volusia County this weekend that is not counted. in that nearly $300,000 total. And of course, we will stay on top of Officer Rayner's condition as the community rallies and prays for him. You can get the latest right on your phone through our WFTV News app. It is available for free in the Apple App Store and on Google Play.
2 people were rushed to the hospital after being shot in Winter Park. Witnesses told police that just before 1, a man opened fire behind the movie theater at Winter Park Village. For hours, police had parts of Denning Drive blocked off as they searched for evidence and a shooter. We talked with a man who was caught in the crossfire.
I thought they were just talking, then all of a sudden, the guy starts shooting. So I jumped in the head. I got out of the way. I got a blaze on my arm.
We saw officers searching a drain using a metal detector, possibly looking for that weapon. Police are looking for a gold or silver older model sedan. They do not yet have a description of the shooter. In Volusia County, 1 person is dead and more than a dozen others hurt after a fiery crash this morning. Investigators say a man driving a county utility truck slammed into a Votran bus that had stopped to let passengers out.
Help me out, I'm burning alive. That's what we heard. I'm burning alive.
Oh, that witness told us she can still hear the anguished cries for help hours after the crash in front of her home at International Speedway Boulevard and 4th Street. She says the bus riders walked away, but that driver was trapped in his pickup. The 52-year-old county worker died at the scene. Orlando Police Chief Orlando Rolón now says he's staying put in the city beautiful. We told you earlier this month when Rolón was named as a finalist to be the new police chief in Fort Lauderdale. Well, today the chief released a statement saying he has decided to stay in Orlando as police chief. He said in part, and I'm quoting here, "I'm no longer in the hiring process for the position of chief of police in the city of Fort Lauderdale. I wish the candidate who earns the role much success."
The first trial for cruises set to depart from Port Canaveral tomorrow has been delayed. The reason for the pause and how that's going to impact all those small businesses that were counting on this around the ports.
Not to walk at night, alone.
After neighbors have raised concerns about their safety in several Orlando neighborhoods, there's a big project coming to help light up the streets and possibly save lives. George?
Nice and quiet right now in Central Florida, but next I'll time out a return of the widespread rains.
Preparing you for your day means no surprises. It means you know what to expect, whether that's with your forecast, with what's going on the roads.
Weather and traffic every 10 minutes is huge because the weather changes that fast here in Central Florida. It's our job to let you know what's going to happen for the day ahead.
Whether it's alternate routes or maybe some construction that'll be popping up, that's such a big part of getting you ready for your day.
Whether it's breaking news or a story that's been developing all week.
We work together to save you time in the morning.
We're the team for your whole day.
The first test cruise from Port Canaveral won't hit the open water tomorrow as planned. And tonight, we're digging into the COVID-19 testing that halted the Disney Dreams trial voyage.
Yeah, the Disney Cruise Line has delayed the 2-day simulated voyage because of inconsistent COVID-19 results. And as Channel 9's Melanie Holt reports, there's no word yet on when that trip might be rescheduled.
About $500,000 in funding is coming to downtown Orlando to help light up some neighborhoods. Neighbors have complained of busted streetlights, making it hard for drivers at night and making some people feel unsafe.
Why do you think it's necessary?
For safety, for one. That's the main concern, is the safety of all the residents.
The Downtown Orlando Lighting Improvement Initiative includes sections of Orange Avenue, Church Street, Wall Street, and Paramore Avenue. Improvements include installing brighter and more efficient LED lighting, as well as Cobra head light poles. No word yet on when exactly this project will be finished. But boy, tonight was a nice night. There wasn't any real rain to speak of. Pretty beautiful.
Nice and quiet. And kind of interesting in that it's quiet here, and about 300 miles to the north, there was a tropical storm.
Yeah.
Now a depression.
Yeah, now a depression. It has just weakened. Kind of a fast life for Tropical Storm Danny. Here in Central Florida, 79 degrees. No impacts from that tropical cyclone, but I want to point out where it is just so you know. Here it is, now moving over Georgia and falling apart. So it formed this morning, made landfall this evening, and now it's weakening. By morning, there may be very little left to it. So let's move on to the next disturbance. About 2,500 miles to the southeast, it's a tropical wave. And as it moves into the warmer waters or above the warmer waters of the Caribbean, right now it looks like a 40% chance that this could form into a tropical depression or a named system. But again, it's up in the air if it will even develop, and from there it could go anywhere. Here's the European model, and I'm showing you the spin, and actually we have a second disturbance on its heels, but there's no guarantee these will even form at this point. So right now we're monitoring, and if they do, we'll see where they develop. They could stay well to the south, they could hook back around. Again, just monitoring things right now, and locally watching a higher rain chance here in Central Florida starting tomorrow. Your 7-day forecast, the weekend always in view. Wednesday and Thursday, notice how the rain chances get even higher. So more widespread rain. Could see 2 to 3 inch rainfall totals on these days, especially afternoon and evening. Once again, I think the heavy rain sets up west of Orlando on these days. Friday, scattered storms near 90 or just below each day for the rest of the week. Then a little warmer by Sunday, low 90s this upcoming weekend. Quiet mornings, scattered afternoon storms that you should be able to plan around this upcoming weekend. Just go inside when the storms develop, take cover from any lightning, and then more scattered storms for next week as well. Martha?
All right, George, thanks. Orlando is being considered as a World Cup host site in 2026, but one of their auditions, if you will, is taking shape. How this local farm could play a part in bringing the games to our neighborhood to help keep Central Florida strong.
WFTV.com. See breaking news anytime, everywhere. Streaming live no matter what device you're on. Plus, zoom in to live radar and track storms to where you live. WFTV.com is brought to you by City Kia of Greater Orlando.
See our entire inventory and schedule a test drive at LexusOfOrlando.com.
Central Florida is about to get another opportunity to shine on the international soccer stage and hopefully impress World Cup officials.
And we're all depending on people who actually literally watch grass grow for a living. Channel 9's Joe Kepner has the details behind the turf that will be used for the Florida Cup next month and how it will help to keep Central Florida strong. Amazing what goes into that.
My grass wouldn't cut it. It needs to be mowed.
Yeah. He didn't list weeds, because I've had a few of those.
Have you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But they're green. As long as it's green, doesn't it?
How's that?
Absolutely. Just mow it close. All right. Good story, Joe. Thank you. The Salvation Army trying to raise $1 million for transitional housing.
See the tiny homes they want to build right here in Central Florida.
We work really hard every morning to find out what's new, what's next, what you can expect, whether it's breaking news or those rainstorms that you know are going to start rolling in the afternoon, to make sure that you're walking out the door stronger, smarter. You're going to know exactly what to expect for the day ahead.
Doppler 9 radar is driven by Toyota of Orlando, I-4 near Millennium Mall, and Toyota of Claremont.
The Salvation Army is preparing pop-up pallet shelters for the homeless in Orlando. They're small, simple homes that are easy to put up and break back down.
And these shelters are going to be needed with the eviction moratorium set to expire at the end of July. The issue is, where will they go?
There for up to a year or even longer until they get stabilized so they can move into permanent housing.
Are you looking at anywhere specific right now?
No.
Well, the Salvation Army says it would most likely cost a few $100,000 a year to run these shelters. That would include the water, the sewage, and managers for the property. So far, they have about $300,000 in donations, but they are asking for more.
It seems like the most simple thing that as a community we can and should do.
Yes.
To help those that are down on their luck.
Absolutely.
Provide them with some shelter. This seems like a good idea. All right. Thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your night. Take care.
Good night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Take care.